Hello again, and welcome to part two of a very special episode of Ibble Dibble, reviewing episode one of Archetypes with Meghan.
There's an all-girls Catholic school in Los Angeles called Immaculate Heart. Back in the 1960s, an order of nuns, including many who taught at Immaculate Heart, they wanted to make some changes at the school to keep up with more modern times. They also didn't want to wear the habit. They renounced their vows so they could live their lives authentically, comfortably, and on terms that made sense to them.
Please forgive my cynicism, but I do not believe that that was about wearing a habit or being modern. I think it was about not giving school fees to the Catholic Church.
What it meant was they started their own community, a place where they were recognized as full human beings, not beholden to a system or this patriarchy that they weren't comfortable with.
What did they think they were signing up for? Has the Catholic Church not been a patriarchy for 2,000 years? I'm very confused.
This message to me and my classmates was clear. Our futures as young women were limitless. Ambition, that was the whole point.
So your origin story is that you learned how to profit off of one of the oldest and best brands in the world by quitting it, bad-mouthing it, and excusing yourself with promises to perform charitable acts that never materialize in whatever outfits you want to wear. Thank you very much. Cool. I have a question. How many orphans have been educated for free at Immaculate Heart? Authentic just means being true to yourself. It's possible to be authentically shitty. And to state the obvious, there's a middle ground between ambition being a dirty word and ambition being the point of life.
So I don't ever remember personally feeling the negative connotation behind the word ambitious.
Because it didn't exist?
Until I started dating my now husband. Apparently ambition is a terrible, terrible thing for a woman.
Oh, I see what you're getting at. Hi, Egypt. British people generally and polite society internationally are understated. If they're calling you ambitious as an insult, it's because they aren't calling you something far worse.
Serena Williams needs no introduction. She's just a remarkable woman, and she's accomplished all of this in the midst of a culture that, how should we say this, doesn't exactly prize ambitious women, let alone ambitious Black women.
Nope. Competitive tennis is as close to meritocracy as exists. Serena played the best, she won the most. That's it.
Hi, you want to come say hi? Lexi just popped in. Hello.
How you doing? Good, how are you? I like what you're doing with your hair. It's a great vibe.
Thank you. Good to see you as always. I miss you guys.
Well, come and see us.
I will.
I'll make a plan.
Have fun.
Thanks, my love.
So at this point, we're over 10 minutes into this podcast, and we still haven't heard from Serena. Also, the way she says that to Harry, it sounds like she's talking to a dog or a child under 5. What in the world? Even Serena, why does she say hello to him? Like, hello, governor. What in the world is he supposed to say?
And just this thought of like these archetypes, but it's kind of stuff you and I talk about so much, these boxes and labels and the things that we both have been called and witnessed each other being called.
Isn't it so inconvenient when somebody doesn't like you?
I'm super loyal, you know that.
Oh, I know. I know, never to a fault.
Meghan, calling someone loyal to a fault is a compliment, not an insult. And don't you rely on people being loyal to a fault so you can abuse them?
Do you remember when we met for the first time? I was thinking about that.
Yeah, that game, right?
Ooh, juicy. Serena's letting Meghan take the lead on this one because we all know that that flag football game is not where they really met. I guess Serena just figures Meghan knows the Sunshine Sacks storyline better than she does.
And I see you walking towards someone, and I remember going, oh my gosh, who's Serena Williams going to talk to? And I looked behind me, and when I turned around, you were there in front of me. You're like, hi. And we became such fast friends.
We have a lot.
Right. Serena Williams picked Meghan out of a crowd to speak to, having never seen her before? I don't think so. Again, check out my video, how Meghan and Serena really met.
Not in common.
I know.
Serena is not even trying to hide it.
In our friendship, when you have to see things that are mischaracterizing of me, but you experience behind closed doors the pain that I'm going through, and vice versa, right? But I think what's so interesting is, even though that's on a world stage,
often women are definitely put in these different boxes when we are ambitious or when we do have goals or when we reach our goals. It's a negative connotation on how we reach the goals. was reading an article about how girls tend to raise their hand less and less as time goes on because their confidence starts to fade because of the things that they're called.
So Meghan makes it all about her, implies that her life is or has been incredibly painful and it was a secret from the world, even though she throws her drama in front of us 24/7. And Serena is making generalizations and quoting articles that, not to be rude, but I highly doubt she understands. Why? Meghan, you are the host, you are the interviewer. This is not about you and your pain. This is about Serena. Serena, you are the greatest of all time in tennis. Tell us about the challenges you faced in tennis. Tell us about what men thought of you reaching your goals in tennis.
But what was it about our 11-year-old selves? You get to an age, I find, you're so innocent, but you're also so fearless, right? And that somehow as we get older, because of these archetypes, because of what society's doing, because of the pressure of the media, because of all this noise, I don't think that we're as fearless as we were then.
I don't know what to say to that. But yeah, I think fearlessness is super important. And I think as you grow with the experience that you get, you think of it as a wound. If you burn yourself, obviously you don't touch the fire again. So you're learning behaviors that make you stop. And that gives you this healthy fear. Because there's a healthy fear and, kind of there's like a godly fear as well.
Serena, this woman is not your friend. She is not asking you an honest question, seeking a helpful answer. She is trying to put words in your mouth.
What is it? Hold on a second. Can I jump in there? Because there's certain things that I know you won't want to say about your experience, but I lived through a lot of that with you. You were treated completely unfairly.
Meghan, stop talking over your guest and stop talking for your guest.
It just wasn't one thing. I'm telling you, the reason that I have trauma from it is because it's been 5 things or more.
I know.
The first being the reason Hawkeye became a thing was because they were calling my balls out and they weren't even close to the line.
Oh, now I see why they're friends. Is Serena honestly using the word trauma to describe the experience of receiving unfair calls in elite tennis?
Oh my goodness, I'll never forget. There's one article that said this guy was passionate and I had a meltdown.
And look, there's something that happens in being archetyped that's really dehumanizing.
Okay, I guess we've officially entered the era where it's okay for multi-millionaire women to bitch about their lives in public. And hold up, being archetype, is it a verb now too? How far are you planning on stretching our language to suit your agenda, Meghan?
This idea that she's too aggressive, too loud, or, dare I even say it, too ambitious.
Stop conflating other traits with ambition. Stop confusing other words with ambition. She really thinks we're dumb, doesn't she?
And for this, we spoke to Dr. Laura Craig. She's a professor at the Haas School of Business at UC Berkeley and the faculty director of the university's Center for Equity, Gender, and Leadership. She focuses her research on how ambitious women are viewed in society, and especially in the workplace.
I'm excited to hear from an academic because these two intellectuals, they are not.
We see that the identical behavior is rated more negatively when it is a woman than when it is a man. And oftentimes when women don't, quote, stay in their place, as they say, it comes with a lot of backlash. Labels thrown at them like, she's a climber, she's so competitive.
Do not conflate social climbing and being extremely competitive in sports, academics, or career. They are not the same.
The double standard between how men and women are treated after having kids is so real. I felt it, and it's certainly been a big part of Serena's story as well.
No one thought less of you after you had kids. Stop it.
Moms do a lot. I look at my mom. I don't know how she had 5 kids. I don't know.
You are such an amazing mom, and that kind of story.
I would drop everything at any time.
And I think what's so key, and for us as women, and just not just women, I think our husbands are really good at this. Other men need to get even better at this as well, is recognizing what people don't see.
I quite agree that more empathy for all coworkers is a great idea. All people go through serious things sometimes, and they deserve your empathy just as much as a new mom. That said, I don't know why I'm hearing this from Meghan and Serena, multimillionaires married to multimillionaires with all the help in the world. I don't need you to tell me to have more empathy. I need you to do something with your money and clout to make lives better.
Right? So when you went and played that match the next morning, no one knew what your night had been like the night before. They forgot that human piece of it.
Yeah.
Just like when we went on our tour to South Africa, we landed with Archie. Archie was, what, 4.5 months old? And the moment we landed, we had to drop him off at this housing unit that they had us staying in.
Ooh, and there's the juice. Meghan calling the governor's mansion and estate in South Africa a housing unit, as if she was staying in the projects or a trailer on set. Stick with me for the next section. I'll be back in 2 or 3 hours.